For some of us, our cars are our babies, our pride and joy, our everything. Sometimes you're damaging your car without even realizing it. I'm going to be showing you guys 6 bad driving habits that can cost you big time. If you're new here, I'm Christian, this is Vehicle Virals. Make sure to subscribe for future automotive content. Now, let's get on with the video. Real quick guys, before the video begins, I wanted to properly thank you guys for supporting my channel. Earlier last week I hit my very first 100 subscribers. I mean, it doesn't sound like much, but it means a lot to me, especially because I know that there are many of you guys enjoying the content that I produce for you guys, and I'm going to continue to do so. So the next goal is 1,000 subscribers. Now, let's begin the video. The first bad driving habit is ignoring that you have a parking brake or e-brake, whatever you want to call it. And by ignoring, I'm referring to not using it at all, specifically when parking a vehicle on a hill or a sloped surface. Most people just leave the car in park and go about their days not realizing the damage they can potentially be causing to their transmission. You see, when you park your vehicle on a hill without using an e-brake, the entire weight of the vehicle rests on a small metal piece within the transmission about the size of your finger, called the parking pawl. By adding all that weight to the pawl, it's not only causing it to wear out prematurely, but it can also cause it to break eventually. Imagine coming back to the car just to find it at the bottom of the hill. Not only will you have a pricey transmission repair, but you can also end up having to pay for property damage. So avoid any potential expenses and use the parking brake when parking, even on flat surfaces. Just one thing, remember to disengage it before driving off. The second bad driving habit is resting your hand on the shifter. This goes for both automatic and manual transmission cars. Raise your hand if you're guilty of doing this. Stick shift drivers and previous stick shift drivers are notorious for doing this. What you don't realize is that leaving your hand on the shifter can put unnecessary strain on the transmission's bushings and synchronizers, leading to premature wear. And once these small components are worn down, just like any transmission repair, it can get costly. The real issue is that those that do this don't typically have a firm grip on the shifter, and if you hit a pothole or brake suddenly while resting your hand on it, you're going to create movement, which can be very bad for the transmission. Next bad driving habit is constantly driving on a low tank of fuel. Have you ever been in a friend's car where every time you're in it, the low fuel indicator light is always on? In fact, it's so bright you have to slap shades on. I think many of us can be guilty of always trying to stretch the very last bit of gas before ultimately surrendering to the gas station gods to fill up for fuel. And what happens next? You only put $10 of gas. You see, the problem with this is that over time your gas tank starts to collect dirt and grime that sits at the bottom of your tank. By having a low tank of gas, your fuel pump starts to suck in all this junk, which can eventually lead to the pump failing. Also, most fuel pumps are designed to cool off when submerged in fuel. If you're too low on fuel, it will start to suck in air, causing it to overheat, which can lead to increased wear and tear. Having a fuel pump fail can not only leave you stranded on the side of the road, but can also cost you quite a bit. So do yourself a favor and try to maintain a fuel level of a quarter tank or more. The fourth bad driving habit is sudden and frequent braking. I understand that at times you might have to rely on a sudden press of the brake in order to avoid collision and keep you safe. But what I'm primarily referring to are those that use the brake as if they're playing a game of Dance Dance Revolution. This practice is most commonly used by those that love to tailgate. Till this day, I still don't understand the motive behind tailgaters. Not only do you put yourself and others at major risk, leaving no room for error, but you're wearing out your brakes much faster. By using your brakes more often and suddenly, you're putting more strain on your braking system, causing them to heat up much more quickly, which results in brake pads and rotors wearing out much faster and having them replaced more often. You can easily extend the life of your brakes by simply keeping a safe distance between you and the car ahead of you, scouting the road ahead of you, and smoothly pressing the brakes to slow down. Brake properly and you'll save money. The fifth bad driving habit is switching between reverse and drive without a complete stop. You might find yourself doing this when you're in a hurry or when positioning yourself to park in a very tight space. I'm so guilty of doing this myself, but that's not going to stop me from telling you that doing this can be bad. It might not seem like it's doing any damage to your car, but in reality it really is. Switching from reverse to drive before coming to a complete stop can cause unnecessary strain on your drivetrain. While the damage might seem small, it can eventually add up, costing you a very expensive trip to your local mechanic. Those 1 or 2 seconds you save by doing this just aren't worth it. Just stop completely before switching gears. Your wallet and your drivetrain will thank you later. The sixth and last bad driving habit that can cost you is revving your engine when it's cold. And yes, I know the exhaust sounds incredible after a cold start. There are 2 different scenarios you might rev your engine when it's cold. The first being maybe you live in a cold environment and you rev your engine just after starting up your car in order to warm it up faster, to get the heater to work faster. And second, maybe you're just trying to show off to some friends or even speeding off just moments after starting your car. All these scenarios can be very bad for your engine. Let me explain. Revving your engine when cold can cause dramatic temperature changes that can damage engine components. It causes unwanted wear on parts within the engine that haven't been properly lubricated yet. Engine damage is by far one of the most expensive repairs you can have in a car, so make sure your car reaches optimal temperature before you decide to slam on the gas. I speak from experience. I ruined 3 fuel injectors on my personal car after flooring it just moments after turning the car on. The cost for the repair? Just a little over $2,000. There you have it, 6 bad driving habits that can cost you big time. As always, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. Oh yeah, and hit that notification bell next to the subscribe button, that way you know when my next video is up. Let me know in the comments below if any of the ones that I listed on this video you're guilty of doing. Anyways, thanks for watching guys. I will see you guys next time.